Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us on the Football Planet on Africa News. Coming up on the show, Raja of Casablanca wins the 2018 CAF Confederations Cup as they beat AS Vita Club by 4-3 on the aggregate. CAF withdraws hosting rights of the 2019 Africa Cup of Nations from Cameroon. 6 months to the competition, we shall be speaking to some Cameroonian journalists to get the popular opinion on the ground. No one to stop the Super Falcons of Nigeria as they got their 11th crown as champions of the Africa Women Cup of Nations with a sweet revenge on South Africa. Gabon's Pierre Aubameyang tops the goal-scoring chart in the English top tier as we take a tour of African performances over the weekend in Europe's top 5 leagues. These and more right ahead. Raja of Casablanca got their first African trophy since 2003, a huge stride in the away leg in Morocco with a 3-0 win. It simply meant that it was pretty difficult for AS Vita Club, who came really close to winning the competition. Let's get the details in the following report.
Raja Casablanca of Morocco won the Confederation Cup in Kinshasa on Sunday. The Moroccans went into the match leading 3-0 from the first leg, thus putting an end to 15 years without a continental title.
They've scored the goal!
From the start, Raja Casablanca were relentless, but they took the lead through Abdelillah Hafidi after 21 minutes, pushing Vita further behind. Vita had a poor defense which made a way for some exchanges that left Hafidi to put the ball past goalkeeper Nelson Lukong. Mahmoud Ben Halib continued with his bright form as he set up Hafidi as it was sure that Raja would win the cup. Vita leveled up into first-half stoppage, but their revival mission dragged along when Mukoko Betazadio netted a goal in the 71st minute to make 2-1.
What is going on here?
Raja Casablanca coach Carlos Garrido is now the first manager to win the CAF Confederation Cup with 2 different clubs after claiming the same trophy with Al Ahly of Egypt in 2014.
Raja also finished with the competition's top scorer in Mahmoud Ben Khalid, who scored 11 times. AS Vita Club got consolation as they got the top scorer of the competition as well in Makusu Mundele, who scored 11 times. Now, just last week, CAF disqualified a second Cameroonian team from playing the 2019 Confederations Cup preliminaries due to late submissions by the Cameroon Football Federation. But things moved from bad to worse for Cameroon when a decision was arrived at to withdraw the hosting rights of the 2019 Africa Cup of Nations. Online, we have Eric Marcian Jomo, the president of the Association of Cameroonian Sports Journalists. He's based in Douala. We also do have Dean Mongo, a sports reporter based in Limbe, a city which was supposed to host matches of the 2019 Africa Cup of Nations. And now, let me begin with you, Eric Marcian Jomo. Did this decision by CAF take you by surprise?
No, I would say that it's not a surprise for me. It's not a surprise for many Cameroonians. It's not a surprise because we have noticed that works on the various sites were going on very slowly. We have noticed that since 2014, that Cameroon was granted the organization of the 2019 African Nations Cup. Nothing has really been done till 2017, 2018. So those high officials of the Presidency of the Republic and those of the various ministries in charge of putting down those infrastructures has done nothing. And when they decided to do it, we were just surprised to see that a stadium that cost in another country about 60 billion were costing 200 and more than 200 billion francs CFA here in Cameroon. So at the end, it seems as if some people were just blocking everything to lick their fingers after. I hope the consequences will be drawn down by the head of state and that those who have caused the humiliation of Cameroon will pay for what they have done to this marvelous country of football. So to summarize, you will notice that nothing can be a surprise after everything I've said.
All right, Dean Mongo, how did the people of the southwest region in Cameroon and Limbe in particular, how did they receive the news?
Cameroonians based in the southwest region and Limbe in particular have expressed different sentiments over CAF's decision to strip Cameroon of the right to host the 2019 African Cup of Nations. Some hold tenaciously to the cradle that the return of peace and stability in the twin Anglophone regions of our country should be the principal priority, and that under the current socio-political climate, hosting the African Cup of Nations would have been a massive miscalculation. He continued to argue that Cameroon shot itself in the arm soon after securing the right to host the 2019 African Cup of Nations. As the nation went to bed, forgetting he had an assignment to do, it should be noted that the school of thought also of the opinion that failing to plan is planning to fail. However, majority of Cameroonians have bought the argument put forth the government of Cameroon, especially those in the southwest region and in particular. They have anchored their arguments on the premises that the heavy cash injection by the government of Cameroon was a perfect demonstration of Cameroon's commitment to stage the tournament only for competent cardinal light into gospel creek. And just as every matter said earlier, this act, singular act, is a massive blow, embarrassment and humiliation to the government that has invested heavily, that has invested time and energy to get the job done. To them, Cameroon needed to have been given more time to get its marks correct. It should be noted that when Cameroon secured the bid to hold the 2019 African Cup of Nations, it was a 16-team format. The change of formation equally meant that CAF should take majority of the blame. Particularly troubling is the fact that CAF boss Ahmad disguised his emotions for friendship when he visited Cameroon some months back. Then he talked about no potential plan B, and that any talk of the potential plan B should be kept far at bay. Cameroonians feel, especially those in the southwest region, that this act alone is a mark of dishonesty, backstabbing, and that CAF has become a toothless bulldog.
Oh, thanks, gentlemen. It's always a pleasure having you on Football Planet. And on to something else. What will it take to unseat the Super Falcons of Nigeria as champions of Africa? That is a question on every lip. They won the African Women Championship. Everyone is talking about that. But I want you to take a look at these statistics. Scary and unmatched statistics there for the Super Falcons of Nigeria. And now let's remind ourselves, Nigeria, South Africa and Cameroon have all qualified for the Women's World Cup in 2019 in France. And now we begin our European tour in the English Premier League, where just one African, Gabonese, Pierre Aubameyang, made all the headlines. The Arsenal man scored twice as his side came from behind to win the London Derby against Tottenham Hotspurs. Now, the brace leaves the player on top of the goal-scoring table with 10 goals in 14 matches. In the French Ligue 1, Nîmes trashed Amiens by 3 goals to nothing, and interestingly, all 3 goals were scored by Africans. First up, Denis Bouanga of Gabon got his 4th of the season to take the advantage at the break. Later, it was Rachid Aloui of Morocco who scored the 2 other goals in that encounter. Toulouse and Dijon separated on a 2-2 draw. Naïef Agaid, the Moroccan, and Abeid Mehdi of Algeria got the 2 goals for the visitors, while Ivory Coast Max Gradel scored his 5th of the season at the 72nd minute to level things up. Senegal's Ismaïla Sarr also got his 5th of the season, but was not good enough to secure points for his side Rennes as they lost by 1-2 to visiting Strasbourg FC. In Italy, Ivorian Frank Kessie got the winner for AC Milan against visiting Parma. Torino beat Genoa by 2-1 as another Ivorian, Kwame Christian, scored the lone goal for Genoa with his third of the season. In the German Bundesliga, Hoffenheim and Schalke 04 shared the spoils as Algeria's Nabil Bentaleb got the equalizer with his third goal of the season from 12 yards. No African on the score sheet in the Spanish La Liga this weekend. And with that, we conclude today's show. Visit our website on www.africanews.com. For your comments and suggestions, kindly reach us on the address on your screen. Have an excellent week. Kwaheri.